Let's talk about links. Links are pretty ugly by default. They're usually blue if they're not clicked, and then purple if they are clicked. So I'm just gonna clean this code up from the last lesson here. Give us some room to work. And so let's say we have some lorem ipsum in here, and we wanted to make a link. We could do this. href is equal to https caleb.io. And let's turn this into a link and some extra white space. And so, because we know in HTML, white space doesn't matter, let's refresh our page and we can see we have all of this in one line and there's a link. Now this link is purple by default because I've already gone to caleb.io. If you haven't gone there, it's going to be blue. Let's go ahead and change this. So we can select this link with an A element because it's the only link on the page, so we can select it and it's totally fine. We don't have to worry about multiple links with multiple styles. And we can say the color of this is going to be red. And when we refresh our page, it's red. Now that doesn't look very good. Let's start making things look a little nicer. Let's say that color has to be black. It has to fit in with the rest of the text here. Okay, so that looks a little bit better. But what happens when I click and hold? Depending on your browser, that can actually change. What we want to do here is we want to be able to change these states, these link states. So now what we can say is A, and you can see when I do 1: after the A selector, it gives me all sorts of things to choose from. Some of these are pseudo selectors, some of these are just regular selectors. Let's go ahead and use hover. What happens when we put our mouse over the link? And so the syntax for this is our selector and then our state. And when we hover over this, let's change the color to blue. So I just saved that, and when I go back to the page, you can actually see nothing happens. When I refresh, however, I'll put my mouse over it and it's going to turn blue, just like that. So now we have some sort of interactivity using just CSS. There's also an active state, so A, active, and that's when you click and hold. So when you do click and hold, let's change that color to red. So let's save that, refresh our page. When I hover over, it turns blue. When I click and hold, it turns red. So these are the different states of a link. We're saying by default, make it black. When you hover over it with an action with your mouse, make it blue. And when you click it, make it red. The last one we have here is visited. So we could say any link that has been visited, change the color of that. Let's change this one to something that's gonna be really hard to see, but very noticeable, yellow. And because I've already clicked this link, right? I click it, takes me here, I go back. Because I visited this link already, it's now yellow. And these are the different link states. So go ahead and give this a shot. I want you to create a link on your page, change the default color, change the hover color, change the active color, and change the visited color. I want you to experiment with these and get a little bit of experience with it because you're going to be using this probably every single day as a front-end web developer.